Okay, good morning. This is John from Peach Guitars, and we're here at NAMM 2020 on the Gibson booth with our good friend Cesar from Gibson. He's going to show us all the big changes that have been happening with the Epiphone lineup. Obviously, a lot of you guys have probably seen our Slash collection video that we've just put out this morning. And yeah, just tell us what's been going on.
Well, I think it's one of the challenges we decided that we wanted to put on ourselves was if you came here and walked around without having anyone say a word, we wanted it to be both shocking and self-explanatory. So what we've done is this is the biggest showing we've ever brought in the history of the company. We have over 600 guitars here, and one of the main highlights is going to be Epiphone. As you saw, when you walked around and yesterday, we really stepped it up with Epiphone. We're relaunching the brand. We're really paying attention to the product and the guitar separation and collection between the very epic originals and then the really affordable, accessible, inspired by Gibson with a short headstock, right, with audio taper, with CTS spots, with Pro humbuckers, a completely rebuild on Epiphone.
It's the massive changes, but it's simple, isn't it, of what you've done with it. You know, before in the past, the Epiphone range, there was so many different kind of models, but now you can see where everything is.
And that's exactly right. It was all about simplifying, right? Just make it simple and say Epiphone's got an original collection that is, you know, whether it's the Texan, the Casino, the Sheraton, all those models that are known to be the Epiphone originals, and then let's just leverage what we all have, which is a very strong platform or number of platforms, whether it's Les Paul, the SG, the Flying V, the 335, the Explorer, and those are inspired by Gibson because they were Gibson originals, and that's what we're bringing to life.
Yeah. Well, let's walk over and take a look at, if we can, just some of these models that you've brought into the line, and perhaps have a look at a few of the changes. So I think there's going to be a lot of people. Oh, here we go. I just keep seeing all these wonderful guitars everywhere. So I think there's going to be a lot of customers excited to see Les Paul specials and the juniors as well.
That's the point, right? I mean, if you look at starting with the custom shop, this year is the 60th anniversary of the 1960, and so you can get that, right? Any one of the three versions.
Yeah.
If you're a purist, if you're a collector, if you're a pro, if you love the actual specificity of historical accurateness, we have that.
Yeah.
If you want a Gibson Les Paul standard 50s, just like we did it back in the day, you have that at a price point. But if you have $599, $600 to spend, you can get an amazing Les Paul standard 50s now, Epiphone, in the Inspired by Gibson collection.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are going to.
And it's basically, if you think about the way that these are set this way for a reason. So we've got Gibson original collection. We've got right here, right? Yeah. From the standards to the special to the junior, we're introducing the Cherry Special and the Ebony Junior. And then mirroring on this side, it's Epiphone, Les Paul Custom, 59 limited edition, Les Paul Standard 50s, 60s, Special, Junior, and onto the SGs. So the concept was to do something where we're showing how we're now leveraging the iconic Gibson brand and bringing an accessible Epiphone collection.
Yeah, and having the different price points from the lowest Epiphone right up to the high-end custom shop, and really great kind of different levels.
Exactly.
It's a similar kind of product, but you can choose which tier almost to go for.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
It keeps it simple, and it's sometimes even as a dealer, we find it hard with some of the brands to keep up with all the different changes, the different numbering systems. But what you've really done is, even though you've made some massive changes, everything is a lot more simplified.
And that is the quest, the simplification.
Yeah. So you have good, better, and best, as it were, for some people. But you're going to be looking at kind of. We've had the most attention so far with the specials, especially the SG with the Maestro on it as well. Loads of people have been really, really excited to get those guitars, because even in the Gibson USA price point, it was maybe just too expensive to have as maybe as their third or fourth guitar, something like that. So this gives a lot of customers the accessibility to guitars like that. So
exactly,
very, very cool. And obviously the headstock changes, the the different pots and stuff that you're using in there.
Those
as
are those are CTS pots.
So that brings it more in line with the USA
and
designs.
Pro Bucker humbuckers.
Yeah.
In the case of the limited edition 59s, they come with also with a certificate of authenticity case, and so I mean if last year, I mean here we go, right? Like if I were to say, all right, cut, I come back and say, hey guys, this is Cesar from Epiphone. That's the way I talk about it, right?
Yeah.
It's not a portfolio of brands. No. We have the Epiphone brand, we have the Gibson brand, we have the Kramer brand, and now this year is about doing justice to Epiphone and Kramer, just like we started doing with Gibson. And it's really just the beginning. I mean, we have so much ahead of us and so much challenge and opportunity that I think you'll see what's going to be coming over the next 12 to 18 months,
you're
and this is
always
the
working
beginning.
on stuff, aren't you? He's always got ideas going around. There's lots of cool stuff happening. So,
and then you talked about the Slash collection. The Slash collection is something that I've been personally working on with him for the last year.
Can we take a walk over there?
You were asking about this, and this is a project that he's a sound perfectionist.
Yeah.
You know, having gotten to know him now over the last 15 months or so, and working with him, I just love the way that he is always in search of his sound.
Yeah.
And he's a guitar nerd, just like you and I.
Yeah.
He's a royal guitar nerd.
Yeah.
So he was involved every step of the way and every detail that went into them until we got them right.
Yeah.
We were going back and forth and making prototypes and sending them to him, and he would play them in the studio. And we got to the point where he said, "We nailed."
Yeah.
And this is that product output, and now they are on stage with him.
Yeah. Well, when we plugged him in for the first time, I mean, where's Jack? He's there. He was behind the Instagram camera. It was just straight away. The sound was there, through a Marshall. It was just absolutely nailed straight away. So was there a lot of time spent on these new pickups as well?
Yeah. So we
I guess that
did.
was the final piece to get really right.
Yeah, I think we must have done 10 or 11 versions of them just to get them right.
Yeah.
Because that's his voicing.
Yeah.
It's his particular sound.
But they seem a little bit more balanced and versatile as well than than what we saw with the Duncan ones. But it was the exact Slash sound straight away through the
Look,
Marshalls.
I think the Duncans are unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
I even have them on some of my guitars, and I think that was the challenge: is how do we make something that he's been working on for so long, that he's so happy with. Now it's our challenge to make those.
It's a big change for him to move away, isn't it? So it's really a testament to what you guys have managed to achieve with it all.
And then it's the first time also we do a three-way collaboration. With Dunlop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course, with the is it the new
for the
Dunlop
picks,
for the picks, and then the new strings
and then the Ernie Ball strings, which were developed with him, and these are the strings that are only available, I think, through Ernie Ball's direct sort of website, because it's a new line that there will be probably rolling out through dealers later. But like we said, if we want to stay true to his sound,
we've got.
It's not only the guitar.
It's
we got to have his strings. So you have the whole package of what he plays
and
when he's on stage.
Everything.
And then a couple of different gauges of picks that are also, in a way, contributing to the sound.
Absolutely. And the acoustic blew us away as well with the such a big difference that having that larger neck shape.
Very big neck shape.
Yeah, really, really big, but
the
still very playable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded just great.
And then
away.
just the personal touches of
Scully.
The Scully.
Yeah.
And then we played a little bit also just to have fun with it, with the namings of the finishes.
Of course, yeah.
When I was speaking with him, I said to him, that is November Burst.
Yeah.
And he was like, what are you talking about? That's the November Burst.
Yeah.
That's what you used in the video.
Yeah.
And he's like, I never thought of that. All right, let me think about it.
Yeah.
And he made it in. So I think that's, we just had fun with it too.
Yeah. It's amazing. I'm really excited to see how the how the sales are and the the feedback from customers and stuff. I think it's going to be pretty amazing. So I know we've got moving on to the custom shop stuff. Obviously, the 59 60th anniversary was a massive line for us last year, and still selling very strong now with our back orders. For our hand-picked top stuff that we did in Nashville, but. So you brought obviously the 60th anniversary to the 60 as well. So can you tell us a little bit more about kind of a few of the things that are going on at the custom shop? I know obviously you've announced that you're going to be doing this Murphy Lab thing as well, and I'm coming over next month, so I'm going to try and grill him and get some more info on that as well. But it'd be cool to have a look at some of these 60s as well.
Let's do it.
If we can squeeze in over there.
Hey,
Tom
Murphy,
Murphy's the main man.
Master Artisan of the Murphy Lab.
John, Peach Guitars. Yep.
Good to see everybody.
Yeah.
The problem we have is when we pull him in for a word, it's 30 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
What do you think, Tom?
I have nothing to say.
He's a man with a lot of good stories, I imagine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, we have just started a relationship that is going to do great things.
Yeah.
They give me an opportunity to experiment and continue the stuff I do already.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I'm flying to Nashville next month, so I'll come in and see you and we can talk about it more then. That'll be great. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
See ya. Bowie and Stevie are going to interrupt
So
us.
you see that the concept was really to really go back to historical accurateness, was to do all three versions of the neck profiles. And so all of these are 60th anniversary 1960s. The difference is that you have version 1, which is the one that looks like a 59.
Sure, yeah.
And it has the same neck.
Same neck, okay.
You have version 2, which has a little bit of a thinner neck. It's kind of like an in-between.
Yeah.
And then the thinnest of the necks we've done, version 3.
Yeah, with the different knobs as well.
And then we did go back to this. It took several iterations to get these to the point where we were like, we got them.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much time we spent on all these little details, but we
you
did.
Guys and Matt Kaler.
It needed, and Matt was obsessed with getting this right.
I can imagine.
And that was really important to get right. Get the reflector knobs exactly the way they were done.
And I can see you paid a lot of attention, like always, to the
finishes.
To the colours.
Yeah, because these were more These are a better representation of the 60s.
Yeah, having those, the real kind of different varieties of the cherry going on, rather than being lemon bursty type, sort of like a lot of the 59 type kind of things.
Correct.
That we've seen.
I call it the clown burst.
Yeah, but I love that colour. And that's great top on that one as well.
But it was amazing
really nice.
yesterday. I think this one had around 60 cards or so during the event.
Yeah. No, that's my favourite one of the lot. I mean, that for me sums up what a 60 is all about. Yeah.
And the
doing
new
that
black
on there as well.
for the anniversary.
Amazing. That's really, really sweet. And then obviously there's you're starting to make a lot of big changes now to the ES guitars.
Yeah, so now we have ES made in Nashville.
Yeah.
In the 59, 61, and 64.
Yeah.
And then the Trini on the basis of the 64, which is here. And so, we started with the 59s over there onto the 61s and the 64s. Just, you know this more better than probably me, but the 59 neck, then 61 goes to the slim taper neck, and then back to the 59 neck in 64, and the block inlays.
No, and I'm really pleased to see guitars like the 355s coming back as well, because it's a guitar that we, Keith Richards, it's always asked for. People want that guitar and stuff.
The 355s and then the 345s in our original collection, Gibson USA.
Yeah, that's been stuff that we've been, the last sort of couple of years, we've really, been trying to get hold of more of the, the USA stuff. So hopefully we can start seeing a lot more of the ES guitars coming through now as well. So obviously you've had a lot of things to sort out, haven't you? So and obviously the acoustic guitars have taken a big change as well, haven't they?
Well, the acoustic guitars is a complete sort of revamp, reorganization into original collection and modern collection, and we launched the acoustic custom shop.
Yeah, which is going to be killer. We had a quick look through there yesterday at some of the real vintage inspired ones. There was a natural J200. I can't remember what the year type it was, but it just the colour was
the 57 J200.
Yeah. The colour is just that kind of almost like 335 vintage natural kind of colour. Just beautiful finish. So and I have to say the G45 Studio and the Standard have been really successful for us.
Yeah, we can't make enough of those. No. I mean, we're heavily back ordered. I mean, we have our production restrictions there in Bozeman, but we are now knowing what we know now over the last year on how in demand the acoustics are.
Yeah.
We're making a very significant investment in capacity expansion so that we can fill that.
Yeah, I mean those studios sound like a guitar's, twice the price, don't they?
Hey, it's made by the same hands that make that 57 that you saw you loved. It's made by the same hands in Bozeman at that price point.
Yeah, killer.
And we're doing the same thing this year with the Modern Collection Les Paul Special. With the P90s and humbuckers. In those 4 colors that are also at $1,000.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we saw those over there, and that's the sort of guitar really age quickly, won't it? As well. Let's check them out. Yeah, check these out.
Yeah. So this it's exciting for us to bring these to all of our fans. I mean, these are in the same way that you were talking about the G45s. These are made by the same hands that make all of our original collection guitars, and they're $1,000.
Yeah, I mean that's my favourite. The white with the P90s. Once that starts getting beaten up as well, that will look so sweet.
And that's the point. I mean, the finish there on these ones being a sort of a worn satin finish, it kind of lends itself to go beat it up and just take it on the road.
But they're real solid guitars, aren't they? And the big changes, like the quality of the guitars, the overall fit and finish, the fretwork, which we've seen since you introduced the collection last year. Guitars are just got so much better. Not just the pickups and all the other cosmetic and spec changes. The guitars are just so much better.
Well, hopefully now you've seen. If you haven't seen Gibson TV, we launched that recently, and we have the Process series up, which is how we make guitars. In a cinematic way of showcasing that, and hopefully people will start looking at how involved of a process it is to make even these guitars that we then make available at $1,000 US. That it takes a lot of work. It's very involved. There are 15 steps in the process. And
it's great that you're making these guitars available. It would be easy just to say, let's just try and make more custom shop guitars at the higher price point. The fact that you're trying to do stuff like this to make them attainable to at a lower price point, you're giving more kudos to the Epiphone brand, and it just brings everything all together a lot nicer, doesn't it, as well. Here's something amazing that we need to talk about. I'm gonna let you tell the story.
So this is the recreation of the original Iommi SG Monkey, which really defined the sound of hard rock and heavy metal. And we were able to get the guitar from Hard Rock, where it sits today, the original. So this one was an exact, true replica recreation of the original. It's a very involved guitar to make, right? Because the aging is very, very particular. It was heavily modified.
The attention to detail on the guitar.
Initially, it started as a 64 SG Special, and then it got modified the way that he modified it with the John Birch pickups. Even with the pickups, we were able to get the apprentice of John himself in England, who worked with John for many, many years, and he made these replica pickups to make. Again, we were obsessed with making sure this was an exact sounding replica, not just exact looking replica.
Well, we had one of the prototype guitars in, which went off to Tony as well, and we got a lefty guy in, a guy I know is a really good player, to just to do a video demo of the guitar, and the sound was there straight away, just like into a semi-clean amp, bit of fuzz kind of thing, and it was just there, just nailed it.
And he put lacquer on the fingerboard because he having the leather caps on his fingers, he wanted to create a little bit of smoothness into sort of rolling his hand up and down, right, to bring his fingers a little bit higher up. And so that's why he did that. And so obviously we recreated it. And then the story of the monkey sticker is another really cool story. So he had a black leather jacket that he thought was a little boring. So he bought a number of stickers, and there was a sheet that had the monkeys, and so he put some on his jacket, and then he had one left.
Amazing, and that's
the one that made it in the guitar, and that's why that the legend was born that way.
So it was an amazing happy accident. So these are going to be sold as a pair, so there's a left-handed and a right-handed guitar.
So it's only 25 pairs.
Only 25, okay.
So 50 guitars in total, a righty and a lefty.
I'm happy to say that we are getting one as well, from what I've been told anyway, so that's going to be cool. But it must be, I mean, I know you deal with a lot of celebrities and stuff like that as well, and a lot of famous people, but you must still have to pinch yourself when you talk to Tony and Slash and stuff like that as well. I know they've become friends and all that kind of stuff, but if you rewind back maybe 5-10 years ago, you know, like what you used to do to now, you know, I guess it's like pretty mind-blowing to be able to deal with people like this. It
really is. It's such a privilege. I don't take it for granted. Spending a couple of days with Tony recently in Nashville, that was amazing, because the reason I play guitar was the Black Sabbath record. I remember listening to that record
those first two
when
records.
I was like 10 years old or so. And I didn't have an electric guitar, I had a Spanish guitar, so I was trying to play that with a Spanish guitar. But that's the reason I decided to pick up and play.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, it must be an absolute dream come true.
It is.
To meet these guys, so amazing. So, we're going to be launching our video soon for it as well. So, we urge you to check that out.
Kramer was the original shredding guitar.
Yeah.
But that was I recall finding a little line going through a lot of 80s material. I saw a line that said "Made to Rock Hard."
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's true.
Holy shit, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to come up with anything. That's why Kramer existed. It existed to rock hard, right? And so that's why we went back to Make to Rock Hard. And yesterday you saw the unique one-off custom painted ones, which I can show you later. And then we're all about bringing back, you know, the '84 Beretta, the Pacer, the Vanguard. Let's go back to those.
No, there is definitely a resurging market for these sorts of guitars as well now, definitely, without a doubt. And I remember a customer gave me a load of old '80s Guitar World magazine, and it was all this stuff. And
we had at the time, Kramer had the ultimate sort of shredder, which was Eddie, as a Kramer artist, and now we're really engaging with artists. So whether it's Tracy Guns or Charlie Parra and Snake Sabo from Skid Row, and we're reaching out to a lot of artists that you'll see that are coming back into the Kramer brand, and we're going to get behind it in a very, very big way. And so I hope that
a lot of big
all of our sort of shredder fans get excited as much as I am, because I love it.
We'll definitely do our bit to get them in their hands. Absolutely. I love this guy here.
Yeah, the nice one.
Yeah.
Suffice it to say that one of those is in my office, and I use it very regularly.
I'm not surprised at all. Through a Marshall, I should imagine. Very, very loud.
White
awesome.
Marshall would sound better.
Yeah, absolutely. They always sound better.
Yeah.
So, these are the USA made.
These are the Epiphone made in USA.
They're great. That Texan looks so nice as well.
First time in 50 years that we're making Epiphones in the US.
Yeah, and these are in Montana.
Yeah. So the Texan is made in Bozeman.
Yeah.
And the Casino is made in Nashville.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, well, I don't know how you find the time to get all this stuff happening. He must be a man that never sleeps.
Well, that's why when you come, you always see me wandering around the factory.
Exactly, guy thinking what's going on, making sure everyone's doing what they're told.
Yeah.
Exactly, no, that's great. Well, thanks ever so much, Cesar. It's always great to see you. But my man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, so we'll get this video online as soon as we can. Check out all the new stuff. We should be getting stock fairly soon, hopefully. Some of this
everything
stuff.
You saw is shipping now.
Perfect, great. So and if you haven't seen it, make sure you check out our Slash video that we just posted today as well. So thanks ever so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Cheers. See you later. Okay, so here we are, Gibson NAMM 2020. We're going to have a look at some amazing new acoustic guitars. A few big changes that have been happening with the vintage style stuff that we can have a look at.
Absolutely.
And,
I mean, it is exciting. We have our own space. We have a beautiful acoustic room this year. The guitars are looking great. Modern series basically has not changed from last year, but one addition, we did a whole line of Rosewood Studios. The studio line has been traditionally walnut since its introduction. The Rosewoods they're beautiful. They sound great. They're just rich with that low end and roundness you get. The rest of the studio line is basically just stayed static. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
We've had really good success this last year with
Fantastic.
it as well.
But the fun stuff is down here. There's always...
Oh, what have we got here? What's this little guy? This is nice.
That is
Little
called the
double O.
Sustainables.
Yeah.
These are the Sustainable series.
Yeah.
Only guitars we've ever made without nitro lacquer.
Yeah.
Hand rub beeswax finish. Very few plastics. Inlays are wood. Logos
Yeah.
wood. Pickguard. Trying to make it as eco-friendly as possible.
Yeah, we've had the J45, but
Nice.
I've not seen this one yet. That looks great.
And we also
Lovely.
have the Hummingbird
Yeah,
available.
yeah, great.
For that guy that wishes he had that guitar back.
Yeah.
That he used to have.
Yeah,
We took our icons and the original series. They're not year specific.
no,
We're
but
trying
inspired
to keep
by
inspired by, be very price conscious.
Yeah.
And we have 50s J45s.
Yeah.
J50, 60s with the adjustable bridges, the
Right.
period correct pick
Yeah.
guards. We've got a Southern Jumbo. We've got Hummingbirds, Doves, and again, just with the touches of the history, the correct tuners. The pick guard is real nitro. The truss rod covers. Little touches like that. These all come with pickups, with the exception of the adjustable bridges, of
Yeah, of
course.
course, yeah.
And J185s, 200s,
Yeah.
and your small body guitars, which is something we've added a lot more to the line this year. LG2s, LOOs. And
the little black one over the back there looks
I love
lovely.
that.
Yeah,
That's a great
yeah.
look.
Little dark torque guard on there as well.
yes. Now,
Very nice.
the really exciting stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to go straight across over
Okay.
here. We did a full line of what we're calling our historic customs.
Mm-hmm.
These are set up chronologically. We started with a 1934 Jumbo,
Right.
went to a 36 J35, 36 Advanced Jumbo, pre-war late 30s J200 Rosewood with the period correct
yeah.
pick guard.
Amazing pick guard that is.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
A rare piece, a 1939
That bridge as well.
J55, going through 40s, the Banner guitars, the LG2 J45 Southern Jumbo, 52 J185s, 57 J200s, and early 60s Hummingbirds, available either with adjustable bridge or standard bridge. All of these have thermally aged tops, period correct. 30s through the 40s are Adirondack,
Yeah.
50s and 60s are thermally aged Sitka tops. Period correct cases are coming with these. Those are still in the works, but they're going to be available with these. They're light, they sound fantastic, and they're just going to be fun.
You can see how thin the finishes are on them as well. Really
That's
lively.
One of the things that we've always touted about the nitro lacquer is that with time it gets thinner and thinner, and that's
Yeah.
why those guitars work. So on these guitars, we said, well, let's just build them that way.
Yeah.
You know, the downside of putting 4 coats of lacquer versus 9 is you really can't buff them aggressively.
No.
So we go ahead and just leave them with a little bit of a texturing to kind of conform to the texture of the wood, like an old guitar loves.
Yeah, look, when the top opens up,
Abs-
it kind of gets more of that ridged feel, doesn't it, on the top?
Absolutely.
Especially.
So these are meant to look like this, and we think that's how we can make them be the best sounding guitars they could
Oh
possibly
yeah,
be.
yeah. You can just see without even strumming them, they're going to absolutely fly off the notes.
People pick them up and are just amazed by the
they're-
weight.
Yeah, it's so
And,
light, aren't they? Yeah, amazing. And the I was just saying to Cesar earlier, the G45s have been really, really popular for us. And they're amazing guitars.
Exciting product. We are just right now we're ramping up because we cannot keep up with the demand.
No.
And so we are going to be expanding our factory and increasing our production over the next couple of years just to meet the demand for the great lower price product that we're
Well,
offering
there's-
now.
Like that guitar with all those specs and everything like that. There's not really anything else that kind of comes close, is there? Really?
Just no
Not-
North American made
no,
guitar at that
no.
price point. That's nitro. That's a dovetail neck joint. Hand-shaped necks. You know, they're built just like every other Gibson acoustic.
Yeah, no, amazing. And the obviously other big news is the Slash guitars.
Absolutely.
As well. Yeah, it was that really first time we got those in to so we could do a product video for them. The necks makes so much difference when you compare it to like the standard J45, which is still a really cool guitar, but having that big neck on it
Yes.
makes so much difference to the overall tone, doesn't it?
It's just the round. There's a lot of wood there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wood there. That's why some of those, those wartime 45s with the huge necks
Yeah.
do what they do. But those necks just add a little bit more resonance, a little bit more sustain to the guitar with that added
Absolutely,
mass.
Yeah.
And
But the playability as well with the flatter fingerboard and everything.
16-inch radius.
Yeah. I expect that to be the November burst is going to be a real strong seller.
it's a fun project. He's a great ambassador for a brand,
Yeah.
and we're really happy to
Yeah.
be working with him on the
Absolutely.
acoustic side of things
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, no, it's great. He's obviously very much known for being a Les Paul player, but
Yeah.
it's really cool to see that he's put his name to something.
There's-
like
and there's
that
one
as well.
one last thing I'd like to
Yeah,
show
let's
you.
see it.
Right over here, for the first time in who knows how long, we are doing U.S. made Epiphone Texans. We're doing it in a sunburst, very nice traditional burst, a little thin tritone burst, and natural. And they're just beautiful
Great
guitars.
burst as well, isn't it? On that really
absolutely
nice three-tone kind of target burst.
And it's I think it's just going to kill for us because people love the old Epiphones that were made here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and our Epiphone team makes a great guitar, but being able to do these in Bozeman, Montana, at this level is just fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely. I think since Cesar and JC and all the guys came in, it's been just really enjoyable to sell the guitars, and the stuff that's been coming through has just been amazing.
The way I gauge their success is you look at everyone that works for Gibson.
Yeah.
We're all smiling.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it makes a huge difference to be working for people that support you and that give us the opportunity to build these wonderful guitars.
Yeah, no, amazing. It's all these different opportunities you're given to, with the entry level price point right through to the real vintage correct.
Yes.
Very absolutely attention to details that you're putting into these guitars are a real testament to the brand and the enthusiasm that everyone at Gibson has now for the guitars.
And the one thing that I always like to tell people is, from the G series through our most expensive guitars, we don't cut corners in how we build.
No.
The difference is in the cost of the materials, the amount of ornamentation,
and
the amount of time it takes to put that together.
Yeah.
But every guitar is still built exactly the same by the same people. Same people build the Gs, build the Hummingbirds, build the 200.
Yeah, Cesar was saying, yes, pretty incredible. So, okay, well that's cool. Well, thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for showing us what's new with Gibson Montana, and we'll see you guys all soon. Cheers. Thanks.